Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, and my friends, it is time for the big Conan the Barbarian patch. Naturally enough, Conan is added to the game, and we're going to spend a lot of the video talking about Conan, just the things he can do. We also have some interesting things like, hey, we got new moves added to the game for some of the characters. We also have a very interesting balance change, and also stuff like the shop has updated. Mortal Kombat never quite had the, costume problem Street Fighter did. And boy, howdy, these are some of the best skins yet. We got Conan skins for a bunch of people. Look at Garrus. Look how sick Garrus looks in his Conan-style garb. Look at Baraka. Baraka looks like a Mongolian soldier. Like, I don't know, he just looks amazing. Look at Astra. She has like a Valeria-inspired costume. And given, the whole light dark thing, that actually is extra fitting if you've ever watched the original movie. But yeah, this is actually super sick. These are actually great costumes. Not much else to say. Big fan of, hey, I'm a Street Fighter fan, so I'm hurting to get costumes anywhere. I'll take them in Mortal Kombat, right? Big fan of costumes in general, and these are actually just amazing. So now, before we get into the Conan talk, just really quick to talk some of the patch stuff. So if you are on PS5 Pro or on PC, they added ray tracing. That's cool, I guess. And there's some very small balance changes on top of the new moves. So Havoc, a very interesting change. So Bloodbath, the big old tether, right? Kind of an important move. Now cannot be done while you're higher health. You have to be at 30% or less health before you can do it. You're going to see here now, I'm going to set my life percentage to 30%. And now I can do the enhanced move. So tether still happens, but look at my health. While the tether is live, your health drains on top of that. Now, I guess fun little side bonus is, while the tether is live, you also gain more meter, more super meter. But substantial change to the move, I would say, for the least, right? But that's not even the most substantial change in the patch, so let's get to it. So Reiko, throwing stars. We all love to hate throwing stars because, well, it's one of the most annoying moves in the game, and always has been. And now, well, buddy. Yeah. So what's happening here? Now throwing stars counts as a weak projectile, and it loses to basically everything. It's not like it trades. It's not like the traditional Mortal Kombat thing where they pass each other by. There's no clash even. They just dissipate against any normal strength projectile. And this is also the case for EX stars. So Reiko's ability to zone has been like killed. It's over. It doesn't exist anymore. Anyone with a standard projectile can now just destroy it. Now, I guess granted, there's a couple characters without the bog standard projectile. So in those matches, I guess it's going to be much the same. But yeah, even the EX version, it loses to everything. Loses to everything. So, Reiko players, you're going to have to relearn your matchups. Now, of course, Reiko is one of the characters recipient of a new move. Reiko now has the air grab, right? And things like knee from enhanced to run also launch way higher. So, just like the ability to do combos and all that with this air dunk is, gonna work. And naturally as well, you can hit people while grounded. And if they're crouch blocking, even though it's an air grab, you still get them. And fun bonus, the enhanced version is a mid, actually. So even if you're neutral ducking, it's still going to get you. So, it's a little gimmicky because there is a bit of a height restriction to it. You got to be very low to the ground to get it. But it is there. Is it worth losing stars over it? No. No. Absolutely not. But you lost one of the main parts of the character for a new air throw, so yay! Raiden got a very new interesting property. So he has his base projectile, and you can hold it, and the more you hold it, then the crazier it gets. But now you can hold it and then store it. And once it's stored, it'll kind of be like a ticking time bomb, but only for the enemy. It'll eventually go off and launch them. And the more orbs you have stored, the more damage the launcher will do. But even at the minimum level, it's still pretty all right. And once you have it, then your next projectile, if it's not already gone off, becomes just a manual detonation. And that is a proper launcher. Now, I guess to note, not unexpected, But while it's live, if you get bopped, it's gonna go away. Like, it's not gonna just automatically turn their hit into a trade into a launcher and you get a free combo, right? But still, it's just a good way to pressure people. You have this ticking time bomb on you, and they gotta worry about it all the time. So, Katana definitely a big winner here. She got three new, not a new move. She got 3 new moves. So, classic air fan toss. We can now enhance it, and enhancing it holds you up in the air. Can we get combos? Well, assuredly. You can relive your favorite Mortal Kombat 2 combo routes at bare minimum, and I'm sure you can get a lot more elaborate. How about some new stuff like the reverse fan toss? Yes, tossing it behind her, and then it kind of just comes and eats up a lot of screen real estate. Like, that's kind of crazy. And there's an enhanced version as well, which also is a juggle starter. And the wind bomb. You can now send the wind bomb at enemies, and that is also a launcher. So if wind trap's on screen and they're just not falling for it, now it has some additional use. So her whole just screen control game just got better. Her combo ability definitely is going to improve. Like, I'm no Katana player, I'll be the first to admit it, right? But now that Mai Shiranui's on her way, Katana kind of had to step up her game as the other fan user of fighting games, and she definitely did. I'm very, very sure you're going to find some really crazy stuff with that. I'm already seeing a few things on Twitter that are really strong. Get out there, lab it out. Katana players, I think you're going to be very happy. So, Conan, very interesting mechanically as a character in my time with him so far since he came out. I guess the first thing, so yes, he can throw Goro, but unfortunately he cannot throw Motaro. He just can't. It sucks, I know. Everyone wants to throw Motaro, but you can throw Goro. That's something. Makes me wonder if there's like hitbox stuff. At least with Goro, like Goro's a little bit bigger than some of the other cameos. Does that mean he's a bigger projectile? I don't know. We'll have to lab that out, I guess. But bare minimum, the projectile toss while we're here, it actually does a good amount of damage. It does 100 damage. Like, it's not going to be a zoning tool in and of itself, but it is a mid. And basically, if you're just looking to like trade, it's a really good trade. Because 1, it does 100 damage, and 2, it knocks down. It's a substantial knockdown too. So if you trade, you both get hit, you'll just be left standing. They'll be knocked down, you'll do more damage, and then, you know, just kind of run your way in. Good to go. So I guess to start just talking with his normals, 1, he doesn't have the weird DLC sweep. Lots of characters that are DLC have very jacked up sweeps. His is very standard. Not bad, but, you know, nothing special, so there's that. But he's got a lot of interesting traits, a lot of chargeable moves, like back 3 is chargeable. And if it's charged all the way, well then, hey, big boot. And plus on block. But you can also hold and dash cancel out of it, either a forward dash or a back dash. We have back 2 by itself is just a, you know, kind of plain Jane launcher. But you can hold it and then get a mega, like, highest in the game launcher. And I do love the little touch. You can see the gleam of his sword before you do it. You can do partial charge and all that kind of stuff as well. But if you hold it all the way, then you get the big old mega launch. As advertised, he does have some actual throws built into his strings. Not hit throws, like true throws. So they will punish you for blocking too much. So we have 4-2 throw. And this throw is just full screen, big knockdown. And we have 2-2 throw. And this one here leaves them a little bit closer, so a little bit better pressure. They're both true throws, so they're high, so you can just like let go of block and they'll go over your head, right? But therein lies the mix, because, you know, hey, he's got special overheads and lots of different things you can do instead. So if the throw becomes a little too obvious, there's ways to punish him for it. But keeping on the string, so we got hit throws, or string throws rather, that's cool. But we also got some plus on block strings. We got 4-2, and we're going to come back to 4-2 because it's interesting, but 4-2-1-1-4. So this is +2 on block in their face. Now, the thing here, I've tested it already. There is a tiny gap you can armor through between the 3rd and 4th hit, the hit that's plus. But, you know, once again, it's just there for mind games, all that kind of stuff, right? So if you get a little too obvious, you get armored through it, and once you read the armor, then you call them out on it. But, you know, plus frames are rarer enough in this game, so it's interesting, especially on a longer string like this, where you can just, like, do the hit confirmable part. You can go for the 3rd part or just go for the full string. And then we also have 3-2 throw. So this is not a throw like the other ones, but it is a overhead, and it's a plus on block overhead. So just like before, there's a gap here, so you can armor through it. But the plus frames is actually quite good. It's +4, but the problem is it leaves you pretty far out, unfortunately. So you don't get to take too much advantage of those plus frames. Like, you can hit with forward 2, which has some pretty good range on it. But other than that, unless you're specifically in the corner, because the corner will not push you out, then that +4 gets a lot scarier because you are just in their face. And once again, overhead, right? So they got, you can catch people asleep at the wheel sometimes. And if they block plus frames here in the corner, I think it's quite valuable. Now, real quick, just to go back to forward 2. So forward 2's got some pretty all right range to it. And it is a 14 frame mid. So all things said, I think it's pretty all right. And it's got the plus on block string. It is hit confirmable very early on. You can hit confirm on hit 2 or on hit 3 into whatever special. I think it's just pretty all right. And it also helps here. He hasn't got a lot of great lows. So he's got down 4, which is actually, I think, pretty all right, all things said, down 4. And it is +16, so it does jail in the forward 2, and it will reach even at maximum range. So there is that. Like, his mix ability is lower. Like, he has a generic low. He's got overheads only through specials. So, like, the mix is mostly going to come from, like, the throw strings and, like, whatever your cameo has to bring to the table. But just for, like, generic basic gameplay, that seems to work. Now, there's also forward 3. So forward 3 has a big launch attached to it, like a mega launch. And the one interesting thing, that's a low launcher is not very common, especially in strings, right? So you got that, and also forward 332 is just a big old overhead. So the overhead is kind of just, whatevs, but it's there. Obviously, it's just there to keep you honest with the threat of the low. So a couple things to note. The low launcher, safer on block than you'd think, -7. So, depends who you're fighting, but safer than you would think, all things considered. And the overhead, pushback, and neutral, so just raw neutral reset, right? Also, the first hit forces a jail. So if you block the first hit, you can't just let go, block, and then like try to down one of them or whatever. If you were blocking the first hit, the rest is guaranteed. So that was one of my biggest worries out of the gate. But you can let go, block, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you block the first hit, the rest is happening. So the string is pretty solid, all things said, especially because the forward range is all right. Once again, 4.2 is quite a bit faster, and it's a mid, not a high, but 4.2 doesn't got the mega launcher attached to it. And if you're just looking for hit confirms, once again, since it jails, it's only -4. It could be -3 depending on when you hit in the active frames, and a little bit of pushback, so you can kind of just walk out of jabs and all that. So not a bad string, all things considered. Very safe on block. Obviously, the mega reward on hit into the launcher. So interesting. So now just to quickly talk about some specials before we get to what I think are some of the bigger deals. So yes, he has the toss. I think it's really cool. He's got stuff like back forward 4, it's kind of good fodder, combo ender. The enhanced version is armored, and he's dripping with armor. So enhanced back forward 4 is armored. Enhanced down forward 2 is armored. Enhanced back forward 3 is armored. That's 3 different armored moves. And note of back forward 3, that's the run, right? So there's only one attack possible out of the run. That's the overhead. By the way, the overhead, no risk, go for it. It is 0 on block with a little pushback, like outside down 1 range too. So like, kind of might as well. Also, the animation slightly changes if it's done beside the enemy. They'll kind of do it right above your head, and then it's +1. So it doesn't have like a starting string overhead, but like his ability to just do overheads, might as well. Like, it's a low damage proposition, but there's no consequence. Most overheads are kind of like unsafe-ish. This is 0 or plus. So hey, cool. Also, very telegraphed if you hold it, right? Obviously. But you can also cancel out of it immediately at any point and just cancel into anything. So, if I'm doing the version I'm right in front of you and like, hey, stand up and block, right? I can just cancel and throw you. So there's going to be gimmicks there. Like, his mix is not traditional 50-50 MK mix in a lot of ways. Once again, a lot of it's based off, like throws and like strings and throws and all that. Or, just regular throw. But it's there. It's there. It's just a little different. He also has the destroyer drop from a jump, which is also an overhead. And this is also totally safe. So monster pushback on block, -3. And this also maintains if you do it off the down 4-2 move. So this also hits in later active frames, so it's only -2. So it's another thing where you can just kind of toss it out and go with it. Obviously, don't get too obvious with it, but it's another just safe thing to do. There's the move Skyward Guardian, it's just down back 2, and it just jumps and juggles them, so it's just good combo fodder. There's also his counter. Counters pretty much everything but lows, leaves them in a combo okay state, and just really good. Also prime for the big boy launch, will naturally combo from that. So that, along with all the armor, just kind of makes him defensively powerful. Now to get to one of the big highlights, so down forward 1 is the big spin move, right? And it's good for combos because if you enhance it, you can cancel the enhance into anything else. Like strings, whatever. Anything else. It takes meter because you got to enhance the move as it is, and then canceling it into another thing also takes meter as well, but it's really strong. Then there's the fact that it reflects projectiles. And if you do the regular version, it'll reflect them in a random position, versus the enhanced version will always reflect them straight. And it also will be faster. Regular timing, there's a little bit of startup, versus the enhanced version, it starts up a bit faster. So if you're like doing a late reflect, if you're not as on the ball, it might be worth time just to burn the bar on it. But here's the thing, when you do the move, like, yes, you reflect, but he's also invulnerable to projectiles while doing it. So say Jack's on the screen, the old unblockable, right? While you're doing the move, you're not reflecting anything necessarily, right? But you just can't be hit by the projectile, the ground pound, because you're invulnerable to projectiles and it's coded as a projectile. I bring this up because this works both ways. So if you have your own Jacks and you're doing ground pound, you will not be knocked down when Jax does his ground pound. So you can be on the screen just fine. You won't get knocked down. Now here's the thing. This move got a bit of an animation on it. So if you call Jax as you're doing the string here, doesn't knock you down. Knocks them down. Doesn't knock you down. You're immune, right? So, it's not a high damage proposition if they're blocking, but it certainly is a decent little gimmick. And, gimmicks are the lifebloods of fighting game, right? So I just think that's really fun and interesting. And speaking of the gimmicks, when you're low health, you can get the blood on you. While you have the blood on you, you can't die. Simple as that. So you will come back to life and revive with low health. The move takes a while, considering you have to be low health to do it to begin with. The enemy's not going to just let you do it, right? So realistically, we'll see, I guess. This is day 1. But realistically, like, you would do this just to get hit and die anyways. So, I don't know. But it is there. You've seen, the trailers. It's all there in the trailers. So, remains to be seen if it's a viable mechanic more than just a raw gimmick. Kind of cool. Like, hey, there's a lot of blood. Mortal Kombat likes blood, I guess. Well, I don't know what to think of it just yet, to be honest with you. So other things, just some combo notes. 1, the Barbarian run cancel, the close version. If you cancel it, it does leave them in a combo okay state if you do it in the middle of a combo. So you can go like 4-3-3, do it, cancel, and then keep the string going. So when it comes to like grounded routes before you do any launchers or call your cameos or whatever, that's definitely something to keep in mind. So baby combo, but just to give you an idea, like something of that meterlessly works. That's definitely not optimal, but just an idea. Also keep in mind too, down back 2 is very good for rebounces. So if you get that big launch, air combo them, do it on the ground, rebounces them, so you can get a lot of combo ability from that. And one of the traits I actually quite like about the character is stand 2-2 is a restand in and of itself. So obviously if you do the full combo, you're going to get more damage, whatever, but it leaves them standing. You're in their face and it's +8 on hit. So it doesn't matter how they're airborne, but as long as you get 2-2 in, they're just standing, +8. That's very easy to enforce. Just strike, throw, mix up from there. Like really strong pressure to be +8 in their face. So I just think that's kind of cool. So that's just a bunch of early labbing with the character. Obviously a lot more to be discovered. We are just merely on day 1 right now. Once again, I mentioned in a video a few days ago, I don't know if he's as like baby mode easy as the combat cast tried to make him out to be. Like at bare minimum, The fact that he has like the cancel stuff definitely helps. Like, he's got some stuff, right? Is that optimal? I'm going to say almost certainly not, right? But it's very easy off a basic hit confirm. He doesn't need any cameos or anything. For cameos, maybe someone like Serena would be nice, just to give him like a bit more of a full screen presence. Then you can alternate between the fast high and the slower mid projectile at bare minimum. And of course, everyone loves the old brain dead easy combo starter, right? So, lot to be seen, but day one, thumbs up from me. I'm a Conan super fan. As a character, I'm trying to be objective, but as a character, as a function in the game, I think he's pretty cool. So far, the guest characters, like Ghostface was really well. Ghostface was incredibly well done. And so far, it looks like Conan's going to be another banger. So I like it at the very least. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But other than that, that is the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Mortal Kombat.
Love